Starting in January 2024, I want to highlight a new roller coaster every month. This month's coaster is El Toro, a wooden coaster located at Six Flags Great Adventure. This coaster has been praised for its speed, forceful elements, and smoothness, making it a favorite among coaster enthusiasts. Join me as we take a ride on El Toro and explore its unique features, history, and what makes it stand out from other coasters. El Toro is located at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. The park serves the greater New York City area and is one of Six Flags' most visited parks. On June 12, 2006, El Toro gave its first ever ride. El Toro, by the way, means the bull in Spanish. Reviews were immediately favorable as riders praised the ride's fast speeds, forceful elements, strong airtime, and glossy smoothness. After being dispatched from the station, trains begin their journey on the 4,400 feet of El Toro's track by completing a 180-degree left-hand turn. The catch car on the bottom of the train engages with the lift cable and riders begin their climb up to 181 feet in the air, the third tallest wooden coaster in the world. At this stunning height, riders are treated to views of the wild safari. The train makes another 180-degree left-hand turn high in the air. As the turn progresses, riders can see King Dakar towering over them, and then a magnificent panoramic view of the park and the coaster they are about to experience. Before they have too much time to think about it, though, they begin their plunge down the first drop. This drop is 176 feet at 76 degrees down toward the ground, and the trains reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. After the drop, they are propelled up two camelback hills, the first one being 112 feet tall, and the second 100 feet tall. These two hills are known for having some of the best airtime on any coaster, not just wood. It is strong and sustained over the entire hill, and there's two of them. After the two camelbacks, the track flies upward and banks hard to the right. This creates a moment of sideways airtime for riders to enjoy. The train completes a low-to-the-ground turnaround to the right, followed by a left turn upward to align the track parallel to the journey out. From there, the track dives, providing some airtime. This is followed by two small hills as the train flies through the structure of the ride's large camelbacks. The return section has been said to be much less forceful than the journey out. Still forceful, but more comparable to standard wooden coasters than the precedents the ride has already set. After these small hills, the train makes a hard right over the first drop and past the station, and enters the Rolling Thunder section of the ride. This section has been named after Rolling Thunder, a racing wooden coaster that El Toro ran right through the middle of. Unfortunately, Rolling Thunder has since been removed to make way for the queue of Zumanjaro Drop of Doom. El Toro begins the Rolling Thunder section by climbing up and dropping sharply down an element that has been named the Rolling Thunder Hill, because it went over Rolling Thunder's first drop. This element has been known to have short but very strong moment of ejector airtime. Next, riders experience a twist to the left, back to the right, then left and right again, right up against the ground. These elements are very snappy and provide a contrast from the larger and more graceful elements that preceded them. The right turn leads up into two hills that go left and then right over the previous S-bend. The ride then glides up into the final brakes and completes a sharp left-hand turn into the transfer track and station. Since opening, El Toro has received a lot of praise for being very forceful and smooth, especially compared to other wooden coasters. But how is it possible for a wooden coaster to travel so fast and pull such strong forces? This coaster is manufactured by Intamin. It's a special model, a prefabricated wooden coaster. On a typical wooden coaster, the track pieces are cut by hand by workers building the ride. However, with Intamin's prefabs, a machine in a shop cuts the track pieces. This ensures that they are exactly perfect, and the ride experience parallels that of a steel coaster, whose track pieces are made in a similar manner, in smoothness. The first Intamin prefab, Colossus, at Haida Park, opened in 2001. 15 years later, the ride became rough, and extensive retracking was required. El Toro was the third coaster built of this model. Ironically, 15 years after it opened, on June 29th, 2021, El Toro suffered an accident in which the back car of the train partially derailed. The track at the top of the first drop was slightly too far apart, which caused the rear chassis on the back car to dislodge from the track. The train dragged the back car through the entire layout before coming to a stop just before the final brakes. Luckily, no one was injured. After the accident, updates were made to the track to prevent derailing again by standardizing the distance between the two track rails with metal bars. However, this wasn't the end of the story. On August 26, 2022, a large pothole in the ride's track caused injuries to 14 riders. Following the accident, more extensive updates and retracking have taken place to ensure the ride is smooth and safe. Despite this retracking, however, riders on El Toro in 2023 have complained that the ride is still quite rough compared to its former days. Here, I do have to say that El Toro is still a safe ride. It is far more dangerous to drive in a car or even walk down the sidewalk than to ride a roller coaster, and that includes El Toro. Some people wonder about whether Great Adventure will see the value in keeping this attraction. Because of the pre-cut track the ride uses, the prefab model is rather expensive to build. El Toro was purchased by Six Flags at a time when the chain was adding lots of expensive additions, especially to their major parks. However, after bankruptcy, they slammed on the brakes with that business model. Every time they need to retrack the ride, though, they still have to purchase pre-cut track from Intamin, and that has got to be expensive. After two major accidents, I was a little surprised, but still very happy that Great Adventure chose to hold on to this ride. I don't think El Toro is going away anytime soon, though. It's a fan favorite at Great Adventure. I did have my doubts over whether Six Flags would find value in keeping it, but the new merger with Cedar Fair gives me high hopes for the longevity of this ride. In case you were wondering, the last of the 4 Intamin prefabs opened in 2008. It's called T-Express and is located at Everland in South Korea. It's been praised as the best of the 4, even better than El Toro. 15 years later, in 2023, it was announced that T-Express would need a large retracking project to fix some rough spots on the ride. It seems as though these prefabricated wooden coasters only last about 15 years before they need their tracks replaced. It's very interesting. El Toro is a very high bucket list coaster for me. One day, hopefully soon, I'll be able to ride it. In the meantime, I'll just have to be content making videos about it. If you've ridden El Toro, tell me what your opinion is on it. I'd love to know. After that, go have a coaster adventure, maybe even on El Toro.